Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we're taking something you have probably heard literally 1,000 times, and we're going to look at it through a completely new lens. We are going to elevate a totally ubiquitous children's nursery rhyme into a genuinely fascinating exploration of early childhood development. Yep, you guessed it, we're talking about The Wheels on the Bus. But honestly, forget everything you think you know about it because we are about to dissect the anatomy of an absolute masterpiece. The wheels on the bus go round and round, right? We all know this classic lyric by heart. Let's be real, it's practically baked into our DNA at this point. But today, we're going to see exactly why this simple, catchy little sentence is actually a masterclass in interactive learning. It isn't just a tune to keep kids quiet in the car. It is a highly engineered tool for cognitive growth and environmental awareness. So here's our bus route for today. First, we'll look at a universal learning tool. Then we'll move on to decoding the machine. After that, we'll explore a rolling social microcosm. And finally, we'll wrap things up with building early language skills.
All right, stop number 1, a universal learning tool and the rhythm of routine.
Ever wonder why developing minds just cannot look away from this material? Well, here's why. It combines upbeat music and rhythm with highly repetitive melodies. You know, the constant round and round, round and round. But it doesn't stop there. It layers in interactive physical actions and everyday community observations. Plus, it explicitly incorporates the sounds of kids and babies laughing. By using rhythmic storytelling, this material fosters an early recognition of the world around us. It perfectly, and I mean perfectly, matches a young brain's absolute craving for structure, repetition, and joy.
Moving right along to section 2, decoding the machine, focusing on sounds and space. You remember onomatopoeia, right? The formation of a word from a sound associated with what it's naming. The crucial point here is how the song uses this literary device to bridge the gap between a physical object and its function. The wipers go swish, 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 the horn goes beep, 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 and the motor goes vroom, vroom, vroom. These are not just fun, silly noises. For a young learner, this is a foundational introduction to cause and effect. They're learning that a specific mechanical action creates a very specific, predictable sound. And this just brilliantly illustrates the sheer volume of concepts packed into one simple song. It's literally a full mechanical symphony. Round, open, shut, swish, blink, beep, and vroom. When a child vocalizes these rhythmic movements, they are actively participating in the mechanics of a complex machine. They are mapping out how things move in physical space. I mean, doors going open and shut teaches spatial relationships. Signals going blink, blink, blink teaches visual cues. It dramatically enhances their spatial awareness in a way that feels exactly like play. Now, this structure reveals the song's absolute genius when it comes to pacing. We get a very clear comparison, mechanical actions like doors opening and shutting versus human reactions like babies crying and parents soothing. It systematically grounds us with the cold, predictable machinery of the bus first, which establishes a sense of safety and routine, right? And then it completely shifts its focus to the unpredictable, warm humans on board. It's a highly calculated pivot from basic physics straight to sociology. Which brings us to section 3, a rolling social microcosm. Let's look at the passengers. So, who else is actually riding this bus? We've thoroughly decoded the tires, the doors, the horn, the wipers. But to understand the song's true brilliance, we have to step inside the vehicle and ask who is actually experiencing this community journey. Because the bus isn't empty, it's a rolling snapshot of a community in motion. Think about how the specific social interactions of these passengers map directly to crucial developmental milestones. Take the people going up and down. That maps to spatial awareness and is paired with full-body movement. Then you have the babies going wah, wah, wah. That maps to expression and vocalizing emotions. And then the mommies going shh, shh, shh. That maps directly to emotional regulation and the action of soothing. The song is quite literally giving young learners a playbook for how humans interact, express discomfort, and comfort each other in a shared public space. This concept is captured so perfectly in the lyrics, the mommies on the bus go shh, shh, the daddies on the bus go, I love you. Beyond just the people bouncing up and down, think about what this teaches an absorbing little mind. The comforting words and sounds of the parents directly model emotional regulation and positive social cues for the listener. A baby cries, a parent soothes, another expresses love. It is actively demonstrating empathy. It teaches a child that when distress happens, when the baby goes wah, 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 comfort and love immediately follow. That is profound psychological framing masquerading as a simple nursery rhyme. Okay, our final stop, Section 4. Building Early Language Skills, the Grand Synthesis. All of this culminates in a highly structured learning process. The overarching educational value follows a very clear three-step progression. Step 1 is observation. The child sees the bus, the wheels, the people in their community. Step 2 is imitation. They start making the sounds, the swish, the beep, the wah. And Step 3 is comprehension. They begin actually understanding how those sounds and actions relate to the real world around them. By using simple mechanics and social mimicry, this progression creates incredibly fertile ground for early language development. They aren't just reciting words, they're actively synthesizing information. So, this really drives home our main takeaways. The material seamlessly blends music with everyday observation. It inherently encourages vocal imitation through repetition. It links physical actions directly to descriptive words like open and shut. And finally, it introduces absolutely vital social and emotional vocabulary, like I love you. It turns out that singing about blinking lights and crying infants is actually a highly structured interactive method for rapidly acquiring language skills. It is a full-spectrum educational curriculum, completely packaged into just a few minutes of upbeat rhythm. Which brings us to a question I want to leave you with today. If a simple, imaginary bus ride can teach spatial awareness and emotional regulation, what other simple childhood staples are actually complex learning frameworks in disguise? I really hope this explainer leaves you wondering just that. What other simple childhood songs, the ones we hear a million times and take completely for granted, are actually sophisticated masterclasses waiting to be decoded? Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive today. Keep observing, keep analyzing the world around you, and I will catch you on the next explainer.